Hannah, and I live in Wolverhampton. I was born in Wolverhampton, and I've gone to school there, primary school, high school. Primary school and high school for me weren't the best of times, so to say. They weren't, enjoyable. I don't really have good memories from there. My family, I still live with my family, still with my parents and my sister, and all my family's quite close. All my grandparents and my aunties and my cousins are all really, really close to us and everything. So I've grown up in quite a family-orientated environment, so to say. And they're all Christians, really strict Christians. We're made to go to church every Sunday, Christmas, Easter, you name it. We had to be at church. We weren't really given a choice on that. And I've always, I suppose from leaving school at the age of 15, I've always believed in a God. That's never been a doubt to me. But to me, what I didn't necessarily believe in when I was going to church was the Trinity, which is, Jesus Christ being the Son of God. It never really made sense to me. So that's sort of where my journey begins from that age up until now. For me, I'd always from primary school and high school, my sister was the popular one, and I was always supposedly the one that was left behind. From work, I did eventually become suicidal, and I have tried to take my life on more occasions than I can imagine. And that is all from being bullied at school, having work harassment, and it's never really stopped, to be quite honest. But since taking my shahada, alhamdulillah, I've not been in that situation. I know that I've been forgiven for my past. I don't have these problems anymore, and for some reason, my life has got better since that's just something that happens sometimes in life. My general family life is okay. I mean, as I say, my sister was always the one that was centre of attention in every situation, even in our home life, because she was popular at school, she was getting good grades. That's probably the furthest I've ever gone. I mean, it never I never worked, did it? But it did knock me out for a few days. I was unconscious for quite a few days because I had so much of it, so much of the alcohol with the tablets. But that's probably the furthest I've ever gone. Yeah. But I thought about everything. I thought about jumping in front of a train, I thought about jumping off a bridge, I thought about jumping in front of a car on a main road, I thought about everything. I thought of my mum and dad used to have razor blades in the bathroom, and if there's a certain place on your wrist that if you cut, you'll die because of the type of vein and arteries that are there. So I thought about that. I even researched into doing it because I got that low that I did not want to be here anymore. I really couldn't handle anything. I couldn't even, some days, I know I wasn't working, but some days if I had to pop to the shop for my mum, even that in itself wasn't a struggle just to get out the front door. I really started to question the religion. I really started to question what they were doing, why they were doing these things, why they went to mosque, what was Islam. From then I started to really, really question it. And that's sort of where my journey begins into taking my shahada. But yeah, I think that's why I said if I hadn't have been suicidal, I wouldn't have thought to go and get that, that job or that voluntary work. I wouldn't have thought to go into that hospital, meet that family. Everything that happens in your life happens for a reason. So for that time, that was my reason for meeting them.
We were in the same room. Now, luckily enough, I don't know how, she slept right next to me. So we were on the floor and I lay down here and then she was laying down, and I didn't know she was a convert. I didn't know anything about you at all. All I knew was she was English. Because one of the girls, do you remember my friend, she asked you as well. And then she said something about Allah and how she loves being here. And then I was like, okay, I don't understand. I fell asleep. Yeah. And then the next day, we were praying in Jama'ah and she happens to be right next to me. So we were praying and I said to her, are you a traveller? She said, yes, she is. So where are you from? Wolverhampton. I said, I'm from Luton. And I said, okay, you have to do the traveller prayer, don't do the full prayer. I said, follow me. So
do you remember that though? Because I didn't know how to pray at that time. I was
she didn't know anything about how to pray. And I said to her, follow me, and we did 2 rakats and we finished. And I said to her, so I asked her something about namaz, and she said, no, I only know Allahu Akbar. I was like, no. I said, do you even know Allahu Akbar? She said, no. I said, how are you praying? Oh, it's my intention, isn't it? Oh, it's like, subhanAllah. Yeah. I looked at her and I was just like shocked, because there's Muslims out there nowadays, they don't pray. They don't have no importance to prayer, and there's somebody who's new to Islam, doesn't know anything about religion, and she's standing there praying. SubhanAllah, I was like amazed. Then Hannah was stayed with me. Do you remember when we went to that lecture? You were walking
Yeah,
with me.
I
I thought, okay, she sat next to
Yeah.
me. We watched the lecture, and then we started eating. We were eating together, and she said something about she wanted to do research in Shia Islam. And I said to her, okay, that's fine. And I was thinking, there's an alim our resident alim at that time. Do you remember Sheikh Hamid Bakar?
Yeah.
I said to her, look, somebody you can relate to. He's an American convert as well, and you know, he was Christian before. And come to my place. I invited her. It's like a week later, 2 weeks later, she comes down, driving all the way from Wolverhampton. And I said to her, let's go there. Made an appointment with Sheikh Hamid. We went inside. She started asking questions. Do you remember it was about Matam?
It was everything about Shia Islam,
Yeah.
what they believed and what their belief system was, why were they different to Sunnis. I asked quite a lot of questions, didn't I?
Yeah, it was. And then I said, then she was saying that, do you remember when you were saying that you want to speak to Sunnis? And I said to her, go, you know,
Yeah.
Bismillah, go, have a look at that.
Yeah.
You know, it can open your mind. Have a look at Sunnism and Shiism. I recommend you go. So she went and she spoke to them, and we got quite very, very close, because she stayed with me one night, 2 nights, and we've had like similar experiences. I've had quite a difficult life as well in that sense, and it's made me stronger in my faith too. And then we just clicked, you know, like we just became very close friends. We're like best friends now. But and then after she spoke to him, we went back. She went to other, you know, Sunni sisters and Sunni mosque, and she came. She says, no, but it doesn't make sense to me. You know, I said, okay, fine. You know, do you remember I wanted you to go. I said, go have a look, open your mind, choose your path, whatever path you take. You know, that's your choice.
Search into it, I was like, how could you not follow this? How could you not recognise this love? And it really, really kind of got me angry in a way. The more and more I talked about it, the more and more research into it, it kind of got me more angry, the fact that they didn't do this. So that's when I decided to become Shia and retake my Shahada in that mosque. O Muslim woman, veil is your jewel. In the virtuous institute of hijab, you happily dwell. Hijab is your light and greatest honour. Hijab is a protective shield for women. You are saved from all bad omen. Your status is higher than heavenly hall. You submitted to the will of God. Your virtuous personality is very precious. Prettier than Miss World is your subconscious. Hijab is a shell and you are its real pearl. No Western girl can compete with your jewel, although you live in a very simple attire. Modern fashionable women will envy you when they do retire. They will regret neglecting hijab, having lost the status by not